So turn off your television sets. Turn them off now. Turn them off right now. Turn them off and leave them off. Turn them off right in the middle of the sentence I'm speaking to you now. Turn them off.
Hey, thanks for joining us once again, the number one tattooed podcast across America. But yeah, this is last week's episode. I run. D, how's it going?
I'm good. I'm covering my tattoo. Y'all can't see it.
Yeah,
Covering it up.
please cover it up. I can still see the
A
outline,
little
but
bit. I've
make
had
sure
it
you cover it up.
in those 4 years. I've had some work done, but I'm still trying to.
Yeah, to increase your employment prospects and
Yeah,
opportunities, right? Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah. But yeah, as we always do, we're going to get into episode 4 entitled Line of the Meadow. So let's start with general impressions.
Okay. So I'm really sleepy. Because daylight savings time ended. I don't know why I'm sleepy because of it, but anyway, to sum it up, I enjoyed the episode, but I was also ready for it to end because I'm really sleepy.
Okay. And I did offer her the opportunity to record this at another time, but she said I should soldier through it. I'm built different.
Built
Here I am.
different.
But yeah, you said you were waiting for it to end, obviously because you're sleepy. But just talk a bit more about like just how you feel about the episode, I guess.
I actually, I'm only half serious. I am sleepy, but I did enjoy the episode, like I always do. There were a lot of times where I was like, what are y'all doing?" And it was for everybody.
Hmm.
At every point, there was a point where I asked, "What are y'all doing?" Like, Shiv, what are you doing? Ken, what are you doing? Greg, what are you doing? Tom, I really never asked what he's doing because I just generally got an idea that I don't know and I don't care. But yeah, very interesting things happened. So I'll
Hmm.
say that. How'd you feel about it?
It was a weird episode. It
It's very
was
weird.
because here's the thing that I feel like not only this family will do, but like also like powerful people, they have this language where, well, let me back up. First, they pretend to be very forthcoming, direct, but when they have this particular language where I'm gonna say something to you, I'm bullshitting, but you have to read through the bullshit to get what I really want to say. And everybody was doing this in this episode. So kind of like you said, there are times where I'm like questioning like the real intent, but with a few people here, like I definitely know what was going on, and we'll get into those. But with other
Okay.
people, I'm like, what the hell are you doing?
All right. Well, you're gonna have to tell me what you gathered from it. I'm sorry, y'all. Always say. Yeah, you're gonna have to tell me what you gathered from it, because I've got questions. I
Okay,
have questions.
so yeah, where you wanted to start? Because like you said, everybody has their thing. So
Can we go straight to Josh?
let's go straight to Josh.
Let's go straight to Josh.
Let's go straight to
Adrian
the
Brody.
homie Adrian Brody. Yes.
I love his voice, by the way. I just want to add that piece of information. I know everybody's got this idea that he's like this weird kind of heart throb in an odd way. I guess because what is it? He's not conventionally attractive. Is that what they say? Um, but I like his voice. That's what I'm gonna go with. That's all I got. What was Josh doing? Now, just to be sure that I have it right, Josh is a shareholder. Yes.
Josh is a shareholder. Yes.
Okay. And at this point, we're just trying to get every shareholder to at least still vote for Logan so that
Hmm.
Roy has control of the company and not Stewie and I said I was gonna remember this time. What's the other one?
Sandy.
Sandy. So that is the plan. We want all the shareholders to still vote for Logan so that the company stays with Roy and not go to Stewie and Sandy, which Jerry kind of explained, if not last episode, episode before last.
Hmm.
Okay. So he specifically asked that they come to his home. Well, he's
Hmm.
excuse me, his island to see
Yes.
them because his daughter was sick. Um, they made it a point to show us that Josh is kind of a dick, and I don't know if if that's because he's a dick as a person, or if he's specifically trying to do play some kind of mind game with Kendall and Logan.
I will say this: if I have a 4%, stake in your company, which equals, I forgot how many. I think he said like 250 million or something to that effect. I'm gonna be a bit of a dick too. So I think he was putting them to the test to see like if because they said they were good, so he was putting them to the test to see if they were really good.
350 million. I remember that
350
specifically.
million.
$350 million. That's a lot of money.
Yeah,
Like that's a lot of money.
so it's a lot
And
of chips.
oh, it's a lot. And I guess hearing that number still blew my mind after hearing that he had an island. Still, $350 million. That's a lot of money, but it was very much a test, and he gave them a test of. To me, it was very much loyalty because Logan was like dying, or
Yeah.
it appeared that he could possibly die. And excuse me, for Kendall to still try to schmooze at that point, or they're too invested or too they can't lose the pissing contest, even though this man's about to die. I think I'd be like, yeah, these people are unhinged.
But here's the thing though, and like every character in this show is a piece of shit. Boom.
Mhm.
But let's get that out the way. But take your mind back to episode one when Kendall was in the middle of buying Walter. No, okay, I'll take you there. Kendall was
Yeah.
in the middle of getting the Vulture deal done. He
Mhm.
stepped away from the Vulture deal to come to his dad's birthday party. And he was like, you stepped away from the table. What the hell are you doing? So that's the way he's been trained. So for the family to be like, oh, you are about to let dad die, he was trying to get the deal done. So
Kendall can't do anything right. That's what it is.
so even though that's the asshole thing to do, that's what he's been trained to do. So what else did you expect from him in this moment?
Because he's a killer now.
I mean, he tried to be. I mean, he's still bad at it, but he tried to be.
A literal killer now because your dad's about to die. I I think they want Kendall to know when to do what he needs to do. It's
But
almost
no,
like
no, no, no.
I'm not agreeing with them running. I'm just saying their logic is yes, you are supposed to make the deal no matter what. You're also supposed to be able to read Josh's mind and know that this is a game he's playing and play it correctly. Just like how Shiv is supposed to make things happen even when she can't. You're always supposed to get the job done. And when you don't, you get berated. That's just their family way. This isn't new.
I hear you, but when Logan isn't okay, so Logan obviously wasn't up for it. Like he like because the whole time Josh was like, "Hey man, you want me to get you a card? I could get you that card." And Logan's like, "No, no, I'm fine." He declined the card about 3 or 4 times over. So was it really on Kindle like for this old ass man to be walking up this hill? Because Josh knew what he was doing when he was
I
like,
was gonna
"Oh yeah,"
say,
he was like, it's the short way, but sometimes it's the long way. You know
what's
what the hell you're doing."
Was the cart ever coming on? Because he claimed he had a cart coming when they got up from lunch, but then he took them the long, short way. So was the cart ever really coming?
Yeah, it's like back in the day, like when we would take like a path to like the candy store or something. They'd be like, "Oh, this is a shortcut," and then next thing you know, like you're lost in the path or something. That's a real deep country reference. You probably don't know what the hell I'm talking about, but yeah. So it was almost the same thing. Like, oh yes, this is the short way, but is it really though? It didn't seem like the short way to me. Like you damn near coming out by the ocean.
Oh, and I never, not at one moment, not at one point did I believe that Josh was lost. Not one, not for a second did I think he was lost. And I think he was trying to kind of imply that he was because he's like, no, we're here. I'm not lost. You're lost. I'm like, nah, you just waiting for this man to die. Like, that's what you're doing. You're trying to kill Logan with the sun, and he's falling
Try,
for
trying to assassinate him with the sun.
it. And you're falling for it. So they say he's out. I believe him because that was
That was Stewie.
Stewie at the play, right? Okay, so
Yeah.
that's it, right? Okay, So here's my next question. This is a business question. Sandy and Stewie, are they already invested in Waystar? I thought they were like bringing them in because
All right.
I'm asking because how are they holding so much clout now? Is it because they're in such a weakened state that they know they can just go in and buy it when it's time, or no?
So, all right, here's the thing. So, when Logan had his heart attack or seizure or whatever, Kendall found out that there were like private investments, like basically keeping the company afloat. Stewie came in to basically take that deck off that debt off the deck, but he was like, I need a board seat.
Hmm.
Then when Kendall had the idea to just screw the company over, that's when he was working out a deal with another deal with Stewie, but he didn't know that Sandy was like secretly backing him. So now Sandy has it. So now, like, and if I'm not mistaken, one of them have two seats as well. So they could
Mm.
sway the rest of the board, push Logan out, and sway the shareholders, and they have the entire company.
So they backdoor to backdoor. That's what it sounds like. Well, Sandy did. Stewie just, I
Yeah,
think, like we said before, Stewie just go where the money resides. Sandy's making actual
yeah, Stewie.
money moves, like power moves, I guess I'll say.
Yeah, yeah, Stewie is just like, hey, I'm wherever the money's at, that's where I'm at.
Run be me. That's Stewie. And Sandy's like, I want the power. How Kim say first you get the money,
Yeah, because
then you get the
because
power.
he because it's actually personal for him because he actually wants to screw Logan over, like if I remember correctly. So yeah, they're in the proxy battle, and I'm not even going to pretend like I don't
Oh,
know what that
mhm.
phrase means in legal jargon, but they are basically taking out the out taking the family out the business. That's what they're doing essentially. They're like they can mostly be in control of the board seats.
Okay, and just to be sure, the raisin is the president. Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
They started calling him that without like no warning. So at
Right.
first I was like, "Who the hell is the raisin?" But yeah, the raisin is the president. I don't know why they
Okay.
call
And
him the raisin, but
when we say president, we're speaking the president of the United States
yes, the
of America.
president.
Yes.
Yes,
Okay. Like I didn't want anybody to be confused and think, okay, this is the president of Waystar. No, this is the
no,
president, the
the
commander
president.
in chief of the United States. And if there were any question about it, Connor said it today. It's clear the Raisin's going to win again. So I'm like,
Mhm.
it makes a lot of sense anyway. It's not like they haven't been putting it there, but I think they're doing a good job now of making sure people are kind of on board because again,
Mhm.
the very beginning, it was kind of hard to keep up because I wasn't really like I couldn't wrap my mind around it, but they're doing a better job now. Um, so Logan and the presidents are pals, and
Mhm.
Logan uses his influence or ATM, which is is ATM the news station? It's like
Yeah,
the news
ATN.
or
Yeah,
part
ATN
of it.
is the
ATN,
news.
I'm
Yeah,
sorry. So think about money again.
think about the
ATN.
money. Yeah,
ATN is the news station. And just like with our Fox Newses and CNNs and everything else, they can decide which way they want to sway their viewers' opinions. And so far, they have swayed towards the president. But now, since they pissed him off, they're kind of trying to switch. And it will be this time we can kind of segue into your girl because I got words for her
yeah.
again.
Also, let me say this. When it comes to performances in the show, like Sarah Snook is one of the best because you have to be good to make me fucking hate you this much. You have to be spectacular, and she delivers every week.
She is. She's yeah, she is. She's really, really, really good. Like so good that I'm hoping that she's acting and that she's not this white woman.
Oh no, no, no! It's no
Yeah,
way to be this level of like white women in real life. Like that's unprecedented levels of white women. I doubt
they
that
exist. They're
she's
just
a
not
yeah,
actresses, I guess.
yeah,
Okay, so you want to start? Let's start with her and Greg. Want to kind of
yeah,
get into
yeah.
them?
So they're basically trying to
Mm-mm.
like her
I'm sorry,
Tom,
not
you mean?
Greg. Tom. Yes,
Yeah,
Tom.
yeah, yeah. It's all related though. So they're
Of course
trying
together.
to. So it's like two paths here. They're trying to squeeze Greg and bring him in under the JDA, which is basically the lawyer agreement, the joint lawyer agreement. I don't know what the D stands for, but whatever. The joint
Just,
lawyer agreement. That's what we call it. Justice League of America, the joint lawyer agreement.
I was thinking
But
disclosure, like judicial
yeah, yeah,
disclosure or joint disclosure or something, some of that
yeah,
nature. I have to look it
yeah.
up.
So I guess Shiv is like feeling herself a bit because she comes into Tom's office and she starts giving him orders and he's like, "Hey, according to the org chart, I'm still like technically higher than you. Like they just like you actually don't even, we just like brought you in yesterday. So like, am I taking orders from you now, my wife?" And and she does that thing that she does. And once again, Sarah Snook is so good because every time she does this little thing, I'm just like, she's like, "Oh, well, no. I mean, like, like, oh,
Never.
um,
No. I mean, but
I mean,
technically,
but yeah, I mean,
yes. JDA is a joint defense agreement.
that's what it
Like you
is.
said,
Thank
yeah,
you.
like you
Yeah.
said. So I think what disturbs me the most is that power dynamic between
Hmm.
her and Tom,
Hmm.
and not necessarily because it's his fault. I do feel like he was getting into a situation where he would get into a lot of money, but he didn't realize how much would come with it because again, she sprang this whole sprang sprung. She put this thing before him
Look,
on their wedding night, right? It's just like
verb conjugation does not matter here. Let's continue.
I swear English is my first language though. But she threw this information on him on their wedding night. It was like, oh, by the way, we're in an open marriage, right? Just so you know.
Hell of a gift to receive on
Yeah,
your wedding
it's
night.
like just so you know. And it's not this thing that I'm saying we're gonna negotiate. I'm saying we're in an open marriage. You should be happy about it. You are happy about it. And that's the way it's gonna go. And that's been their marriage, or it's probably been their relationship, but it's definitely been their marriage. And he he has no support. And I don't want anybody to think I feel sorry for Tom because I don't. But there's a part of me that's like, why is he giving so much to these people who are giving him nothing? And sure, a job at 18N is something. Being a part of their family is something. The pedigree now, or whatever, the prestige, the name, it carries weight. But him as a person, him as an individual, he's had nothing but pretty much emotional turmoil since he's gotten into this whole situation. And she does nothing to help it. I think that's the thing because outside of all of it, she's still his wife, and she gives him
Allegedly.
nothing. Allegedly, according
Yeah.
to the law, but that's it. And she gives him nothing. And even the little, I guess, dynamic he thought he had over Greg, he really doesn't have that anymore either. If we being
See, and
we
that's
being real,
why all right. So they did the little bullshit talking thing perfectly because Greg was like, "Oh yeah, I'll just go work up for Bright Star Buffalo. I'll kill the boss and I'll be home on weekends." But that story that Tom told, which is by the way was so weird, but
the
he
fact that he knows that story is weird, first of all. But yes, go ahead.
but the important part is when I can't remember the guy's name. I think it's like Nero pushed his wife down the stairs and killed
Mm-hmm.
her.
Mm-hmm.
Like I
Mm-hmm.
say, this is advancing the whole because going back to the first conversation between Tom and Shiv, like when Shiv was like leaving his office, he was kind of like the look on his face is like, "Nah, I'm tired of this shit." But then when he was talking to Greg, I think he knows now that he might have to cross the other side to save himself. Yeah, he might have to because she is constantly trying to serve this man up. Like she does not care. I think he sees that now.
She's like it's there's definitely a pecking order. And Greg used to be at the bottom of it because Tom could shit on Greg. But now it's just Tom. Like Tom is just down here. And the person that does it the most is Siobhan. And like he said, just about the optics, the org chart, and just my masculinity, she does it at home too. Because they talk a lot about their business at home. So there's not a time where where Tom isn't at Shiv's beck and call. Whatever whim she has, he's gonna have to go for. I mean, he seriously thinks he's going to prison. I seriously think he's going to prison. I mean, good. I don't think he will though. I think he's digging in. Because I just don't feel like he's an idiot, and I guess I just don't want him to be. But I think he's really, really diving into this prison thing to see how far they're going to let it go. Like, are y'all really going to let me go to prison? Are you
That's why
really,
he's
really, really
constantly
going to let
talking
me go to
about it.
prison? Exactly. And
Like
because
he's
every time, go ahead.
oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say every time he brings it up, she's like, "No, that's not gonna happen. Unless it does, but it'll be fine. It'll be
Yeah,
fine."
that's what I'm saying. I think he's trying to give her the opportunity to say, like, you know what, Tom, I don't want you to go to prison. This is ridiculous. We'll find another way. He's trying to give her the opportunity. That's why he keeps bringing it up. But each time she says like, "Oh, you're not going to prison, but yeah, by the way, you should, prepare for it. Oh yeah, the prison down there in Maryland, like, yeah, that's a nice prison."
And he's like, "No, it's not in Maryland, Siobhan. It's here." The good thing is though, she didn't know where it was, right? Because that would be a red flag to me. Why do you already know where the prison is, Siobhan? Why do you know? So that the fact that she did know is good because she's not just looking up prisons. But on the other hand, she's not looking up prisons because she don't care. She don't
He
care
does
where he's
not
going to
care.
end up doing. Like she really doesn't care. She's going to see it as my husband's off doing his prison bid. They have an open marriage, so she's going to do whatever she wants to while he's out. They'll take care of him while he's in there. They'll send him care packages and whatever else, as much as you can take care of somebody in prison. But I'm honestly thinking he's just think there's a point which he's reaching where he's just going to be like, okay, they're really going to let me go to prison, so let me do what I need to do. On that front, they keep saying Greg. Did Greg really sign the JDA? He did. Like he's really Waystar
So
now.
because we never see that. We see him step away
Mm-mm.
from the table, and then we see him when he's talking to Tom, say he's like thought about like his plans and what he wants, but he said I'll think about it. Like he never comes, and I don't think the show would do that,
I
right?
haven't
So I
seen
think
him sign anything. I haven't
so
seen a confirmation. I guess from him. Shiv
so
just
so
says it's
so I
done.
think I think Logan, being Logan, says like, okay, he's gonna return to me with what he wants, and then
Mm,
it's a done deal. But from Greg's point of view, like the way I read it, at least, is not is far from a done deal.
not even close. Like I think he has his. Well, it's very clear. He has his demands lined up for if I decide to do this thing, this is what I will do it for. But that doesn't mean you're going to do it. They're just very used to getting everything they want. And even Kendall said, we'll see. So I'm interested to see if Greg moves. If Greg does, though, if Greg decides signs the JDA, where are the papers? Like, does he still have them, or has he turned them over to Waystar? Well, because he
Well,
had them
no, because
supposedly in his
Kendall would
hands,
have
right?
him. Kendall would have him.
Or Sanai, what's her character's name?
Lisa.
Lisa should have them at this point, right?
Mhm.
So okay. And if that's the case, is he safe just because he's a whistleblower? Like he technically didn't do anything wrong. He just told them, I saw this and I saw that it was bad, so I kept it. But he hasn't broken any laws, right? Great.
Yeah, he would be he since he's like the lowest guy. I don't think. Yeah, he would be viewed as a whistleblower. I don't think he would be viewed as like Tom is the one who's in trouble, which is why I think Tom is eventually going to. I think Tom wherever Greg goes, like Tom is gonna go. I feel like.
Oh, okay. That's not But it doesn't make sense to me for Tom to stay with I keep saying Waystar, but y'all know what I mean. It doesn't make sense for
Uh,
him to me to stay with Logan.
and I think because Greg is like not fully committed to both sides. And by the way, I'm glad they finally acknowledged that Greg is in every room and sees everything. Like I'm glad that Logan finally called him because I'm like, y'all are letting this 6'7" guy just sit in the back of the room taking the information. But I'm glad they finally acknowledged that. But no, I think he hasn't committed to one side or another because he's seeing which side has the most leverage and which one will likely win. And while I don't think he's like fully committed to Kendall, I do think that he knows the evidence is like so damning that he doesn't want to be on the side when the shit hits the fan.
He's the biggest fly in the room ever. Like he's a literal elephant in the room. He
Yes.
just he's there. Like you said, he's always there, and nobody ever addresses him because they don't think anything of him.
Right.
But they need to be. And to top it off, he's actually seen the papers. I'm sure
Hmm.
Kendall's looked at it, I'm assuming, but Greg saw it all. So
Hmm.
Greg knows more than everybody else. I don't even know if Tom knows what was in them. He just told him to get rid of them.
Hmm.
But Greg actually read the stuff and
Greg knows like
and
the actual
and tempted.
details.
He's probably got dates and all
Mhm.
kinds of things. And there's very little doubt in my mind that he might have copies. Because I just
Oh
don't
yeah, he does.
like he's got to. And I know he's kind of aloof, but I just don't think he's an idiot. And only an idiot would keep their only copy of confidential papers in their office. Mark, didn't he name it like private papers or something stupid like that? He was
Yes.
something
No,
ridiculous.
he wrote like top secret of.
So, like who does that? It's almost like, hey, I want y'all to look at this just in case. Like FBI, hey, when y'all see this, open it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I want a definitive answer on whether he's flipped or not. Um, Logan's speech to Kendall. What do you think about that when they were walking when he was about to die? Of course, when he told him you lost again.
Mm.
Did you believe him? It's they do this wonderful thing where they're very compelling, both sides, and you're not really sure who's
Mhm.
actually winning or not. Because I'm like, well, Kendall, dang, this really doesn't look good for you. It doesn't. But then I'm like, but he has some at least a paper
Mm.
for the suit that the FBI is trying to do now. So I don't know. Mm.
But but yeah, going back to Logan, no, I didn't believe him, but there was a moment where I think Kendall, which is gonna sound weird because he is a character like broke character. He was almost like, "Were you serious about that, Dad?" Because
Mm.
this is the first time that Logan, if I'm not mistaken, has said the word love. So even to BS, like I think yeah, because when he was making over Marshall, he was like, "I don't eat shit," so he can't even say I'm sorry. So for him to say love, like even jokingly, because he says, later you'll say whatever you want to, you know. But yeah, so I think there's a part where like Kendall was like, "That's what I've been waiting to hear," even though I know you're BSing right now.
But was it though? Because I know you can't trust anything Logan says. I get that. But there is a bit of truth in everything you say,
Mhm.
especially when you are talking about your child. And then the things that Logan said about Kendall make sense,
Mhm.
especially with he was right. He felt what he did was right, so he did it. I think he went too far. Facts. And this is from Logan's point of view. He did what he thought he was right. Was right. That's facts. I think he went too far. That's another fact. In the end, he may be the one. That's another fact because I think he's better than all the rest of them. That is another fact. Siobhan proved that today.
Mhm.
She proved that because I was just like, what are you doing? What are you doing? And all she's doing is going around the office throwing her weight around, offering input where she doesn't need to be. And there's a difference between saying, hey, y'all, can you keep me in the loop? Let me know what's going on. There's another for you to get a new boss and they come in and try to change the whole operation. That's what Siobhan would do. She just go in and say, I can do it better. So let's do it my way. And she still doesn't
I
hold any
like
power.
And I like that Carl called immediately. It was like, "Hey, who does your daughter think
Get
she
your,
is?"
come get your girl. She is doing the most. Cause she is. And
She
she
is.
really was. And it it's the air of superiority she has too. Like it's not that it's because she's a woman. I know that sometimes you have to come in and be a little more assertive than others to let people know I belong here. So I'm not taking that from her. It's Siobhan though. Like this is specifically her because
Mm.
she's going in and she's got this title as president, but her mind isn't wrapping around the fact that it is a vanity title. And
Yeah.
she's going in thinking she can make decisions, and she's getting embarrassed every time. And I was glad when she said we don't get embarrassed because I'm like she really don't. Because Logan and her make her shit bare every episode, and she just be like okay, and then she gonna do the same thing. I don't get it.
Hmm.
She learns nothing, and it's because
She
she doesn't
doesn't.
get embarrassed. She really doesn't. She does not. She just don't get embarrassed. It don't affect her at all. Just roll right off.
Yeah, I
She
do
takes
like
it
when she walked into the boardroom and the
okay.
lady's like, "Yeah, the meeting's over now." So we're about to be done anyway. The meeting's over now.
And then she's just like, "Oh, this isn't about whatever." And then she's like, "Yeah, it's totally about what was it, editorial? It's totally about
Hmm.
editorial." But she got what she wanted, I'm assuming, because the
Yeah,
president's pissed, and
yeah,
Logan seemed happy.
but he's not gonna be happy when the, the president is going to send the CIA, the ATF, the DEA.
This is what I don't understand. Like, see, Logan obviously knows something about the president. He knows something. He knows where a body's buried. He knows where the mistress is. He knows where the love child is. He knows something. And he keeps threatening the president with whatever the thing is. Just like with Kendall. Logan
Hmm.
has enough to kind of bury Kendall, but he holds it. It's almost like this is not big enough yet. I haven't gotten to the point where I need to. And I feel like it's gonna be a Nino Brown situation. Like Logan's just gonna be like, all right, there's no getting out of this. So you know what? Everybody, come on with me. Because if I go down, all of us
Snitching
going
on
down.
everybody.
I'm snitching on everybody, and I think it'll be the president, of course. But I mean, it's still the president though. Like
Right.
it's still the president. So I don't know what makes you think your company, Waystar, Royco, is bigger than the United States president.
Because I know he says
I
it's
don't know
all people and
politics.
it's
I
all
just
politics, but like you are actively under federal investigation right now. So and he's going like scorched earth. Like they're
right
like
now,
listen, the president can end him. Like hand him do
right
it.
right now. That's my thing. I'm like, and maybe I'm naive because I don't know much about politics, especially on that level. But I know he's the president, and I know
Mhm.
you keep poking the bear like he's not the president.
Yeah, I mean, going back to the whole Trump thing, the president is is indeed indebted to ATN, but at the same time, like
Of course.
he's gotten what he's wanted now, so he's just like, hey, I could do this if I want to. Also,
And keep in mind, Connor just said he's gonna win again.
yeah,
He's gonna have
uh,
another term.
but that was actually the direction I was going to go in because Connor wants something more than a cooking channel. You know him, a sommelier. You know,
He
sipping wine.
was so insulted. He really was. He was so upset. And then the best part is that Shiv just like patronized him that whole time. And then when Connor was kind of like, all right, you know what? Let me show her right quick. She's like, oh, let's be civil. Huh?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Cutter does have the best digs on her. He was like, "Hey, you remember when you had that little post office in our house and you would stamp the incoming mail? This is kind of like that."
So this is huh? You're just kind of here. You
Yeah,
kind of you think you're important. You think you're doing something, but the mail's gonna come through either way, baby.
you are stamping mail that has already been stamped and processed. So
Your,
kudos
your
to you.
your job means nothing, doll.
You have the controller that isn't plugged in.
Player two. No, you are not. It's not ready. You are player two. I've been there. But she is though, and it's baffling. It's actually amazing to me how everybody sees it but her. And it's because she refuses to. She just won't believe that she is just in a I mean, what Logan said Jerry would be,
Mhm.
or he said you'd be CEO in a Jerry suit. She's just there. Siobhan is there for optics, I believe. That's it. She's there for optics and she's there to do dirty work.
Yeah.
And I did like how Kendall told her, I don't think we come back from this. And she's talking about, what did she say? Oh, thanks, mom, or something like that.
Mhm.
And I'm like, is she really this awful? And I'm starting to think she is.
She is.
She's just a bad person.
She is.
It's unfortunate. Where is it?
Yeah,
I
and
don't know.
she's making the biggest mistake too because she herself keeps sleeping on. Like, look, if we haven't learned anything else these past few years, don't sleep on the wealthy white man who thinks he's smarter than what he is, and that's Connor. Like they keep sleeping on Connor. Like Connor is like a very goofy character. Like at times he actually brings nothing to the show, but they keep sleeping on Connor, and I feel like Connor's going to show him.
Here lately, he's been kind of showing the glimpses. It's like, hey, not only am I a Roy, I'm the first one. So
Yeah, the
yes, y'all were
first.
there. Y'all were there with dad, and y'all probably lived with him while I was out with my mom. That's what it seems. It feels to me like he maybe lived with his mom, and then he just visited a lot, and then all the other kids may have lived together. It just seems it just seems that they're closer, and
Yeah.
I don't know, but it's like they forget almost. They forget, like, I'm a Roy too. Like, not only
Mhm.
that, like I said, I'm the first one. So all this stuff that y'all are doing, this ain't new to me. I just stay away from it because y'all need it. I don't. I don't need all that. But when I want it, I'll come get it. And I think that's what he's doing. Like, he's coming for it now because he want it.
Yeah, see, I was initially I was thinking because before the season even started, like because the him running for president thing hasn't gone away.
It's still
But
doing.
but I feel like he's still gonna do it, but it'll actually be bad for the Roy family because what if he runs for president, but under the pretense that my family did something very bad and is up for like it's like no, this would be a Cutter thing. I can't even keep my face straight as I say it. My family did something very bad, and it's up to me to stop them. Like I'm the one who has to stop them, even though I'm a member of this family, and I knew they were doing it the whole time. It's up to me to stop.
It has to implode, right? It has
Yeah,
to crumble from the inside. I have to do it. Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised. I
yeah.
don't know. I
Like
wouldn't be
what?
surprised at all.
Like the dumbest thing you think Connor would do is like the most plausible thing, and that's probably it.
I wouldn't be surprised. What did surprise me though was Kendall and the tattooed forehead guy, because it's not that I didn't think he had it in him to do something that would be detrimental to Kendall. I just didn't think he would, and I still don't think. I don't. I guess I don't understand what he thinks he's gonna get out of this, because
See, because even Jerry was like, "This makes you look bad too. You were
that's
there."
what that's what I'm saying. Like, you're going to have to explain that we were in whatever and we paid this guy to do this thing. We meaning all of us. So even if you got it, Kendall can say, I didn't do it. It was my bachelor party and they got this man to do this thing. It had nothing to do with me. They only put my initials on his head because it was my bachelor party.
Right.
Like, he can say it and it's gonna be his word against Romulus. And I guess the guy who actually, got it done. But he doesn't want anything to do with it. He just wanted to show them the pictures, which I get because they're exploiting the homeless. which is
Yeah,
awful.
it's so
That's
awful.
horrible. That's horrible. And Roman's like, well, it's bad for Kendall because Saint Kendall pretty much, and it would look terrible. But like you said before, you were there too,
You
Roman,
were there.
right there with them. It was probably your idea.
It was definitely his idea.
It was definitely Roman's idea for sure. So I don't know. I'm glad Jerry told him to bury it. Was he legit jealous about that date?
He was.
He really was.
Hmm.
Like, does he like her? Like I know he's a deviant, but like, does he want to make this like a 50 Shades marriage type situation? Because I know he said maybe we should get married, but I thought he was joking. Unless he's like, I'm just kidding. Unless you don't do it. So he really
But
likes Jerry, like he likes her.
this, like, I hope this show never jumps the shark and have like him and Jerry doing more than I need to see on screen. Like, I just
Never.
hope. But at the same time, in the back of my mind, like I keep prepping myself, like, oh yeah, this is gonna be the episode.
Does
Okay,
he?
it's not.
Does he want to have sex with her though?
He
Like,
does.
does he want to have sex with her though? Like,
No,
or does
like he
he like the
does.
whole idea of what she does while does what he does?
Like
He wants to have sex with her.
he said that like
Well, I know he said, yeah, he
it
did.
was no. It was like 2 episodes ago. He was like, "Yeah, let's just have sex." And for him to want to have like penetrative like sex
He
with
did.
her,
He did. He did.
like that
So
that
is
means a
his
lot.
beard gone? Is she just gone away? Is she coming back?
I think she's
You
gone.
think she's gone? That's another thing. Cause she's the one that had that. She's the one that did the thing with Tom, right? Okay.
Mhm.
Tom ought to just blow up the building. Like seriously, he should just blow up the building. And you going to
Yeah,
prison anyway. Go out with a bang, a literal bang. Wait till everybody's gone. Like don't hurt anybody. And just blow up it, or at least pee in somebody's office, right? Like
yeah.
pee, like something, or put pee in the office, like collect it and just spread it around people's offices because he deserves some kind of retribution,
He
some
does
kind,
some kind.
a little bit. I don't know. Um, have we covered? Yeah. I'm Siobhan. What what's next for her? Because I'm pretty sure she thinks she has a win. Yes,
She does, but like I said, when the president is sending the Avengers to the headquarters of Waystar Royco, like Logan is gonna be like, Shiv, I thought you had this under control. Because one thing Logan doesn't do is like, well, this is his self proclamation. He doesn't make mistakes. So at the same time, if he sends someone else to do something, and then there's blowback from that decision, he's gonna blame them. So I don't know if you saw the preview. I actually caught it before we hopped on, but at the end of the scene, the new assistant, I don't know who she is, the lady who actually kind of looks like Patty Jenkins, the director of Wonder Woman, like she looks just like her. I had to Google her to make sure she
make sure
wasn't
we're
Patty
not.
Jenkins. Yeah. But no, she comes in and says, like, hey, the president is on the phone and he says it's urgent. Like, we have to talk now. So yeah.
You probably gonna tell him to fuck off. He good for that. But like, dude,
Yeah.
it's the president. You can't do that. Okay, so 9 episodes. We still got a few to go. This is only 4, so yeah, we got a few to go. Um, I need to know if Greg signed the thing, the JDA, for
I don't think he
real.
did. I don't think he did.
Um, I want to know. I think Tom is going to be our wild card, like you said this year. I think he's going to
Mhm.
be the one with the explosive whatever at the end. They always have something at the end of the season. You're like, I think it's going to be Tom. And I hope Siobhan is surprised by whatever he does, even though it's right in her face. I hope she's surprised, and because I just don't get what she's doing. Well, I do know what she's doing. She needs power somewhere, so she's getting it at home, or at least she thinks she's getting it at home. I don't know. Mm. Now, Jerry, that's what I want to ask you about. What's is she making moves, or is she just kind of chilling?
Well, yeah, because she said she had to go check the temperature on the thing, but I think she was checking the temperature or something else too while she was at it. So I don't know. Is she making moves? I don't know. She is been kind of quiet on the Jerry front, so it's hard to get a read on her. But I do think, like, as far as like underestimated people go, I think she's clearly aware that the reason why she was put in the CEO chair for now. So yeah, I feel like she's prepping for that.
I do think it was dumb of Siobhan to burn her bridge with Kendall. Even if she never decides to go to be on his side,
Mhm,
still think it was dumb for her to burn a bridge. One, because it's a dumb business move, and two, it's her brother.
mhm,
He's still your brother. Oh,
mhm.
did you notice the little shot Logan sent to Kendall when he's like, are the drugs you're taking, do they make you paranoid?
Mhm.
I'm like, yeah, that was in
Mhm.
it's kind of low, which means I can say that because everybody knows you're on drugs now, thanks to Siobhan.
Yeah, so yeah, we all know.
Yeah, everybody knows you're on drugs, so I could say that they make you paranoid. I could say that they make you make up stuff. But back to Josh. Um, I didn't expect him to try to get Kendall to dial it back. I guess I should have, because when it comes down to it, he's just trying to
What's in
recoup his
his
money.
best interest? Yeah.
Yeah, but it still felt weird. But everything about Josh felt weird. All of
Mhm.
it. Like, he just seems like a weird individual. And I could tell that he was upset because he felt like they weren't taking him seriously. Because, like he was
Yeah.
saying, you guys think that that I hit the lottery and I'm just here. In other words, you don't understand that I've built something. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? You just think I'm just some, I guess, some rich kid who has money to blow, or Stewie who I'm just chasing the money. But what's actually happening is I'm making the moves. I hold all the cards. So you need to try to figure out how to get me to do what you want me to do. And that's when Logan did his whole, well, he'll be okay. He'll be okay because he's a good kid.
Mhm.
I didn't take that as compliments either, by the way. I took that as
Nah.
I took that as Logan thinks that all of his children will eventually do what he tells them to do because he's Logan.
Yeah, it's similar to like the double talk that he always
Hmm.
does. Like I'm saying something, but this is what I really mean.
Because he's a good kid. There'll be, what he said, there'll be a number, a pretty big number, and he'll be sad, and I'll just kind of deal with it, and there'll be some slaps on the wrist, and then he's saying possibly he'll be the one, and I'm like, and it made me think back to that smile. Remember that smirk we were talking
Mhm,
about when
mhm.
Kendall blew up the whole thing? I'm like, because I honestly think he wants Kendall to be the one.
He does.
Kendall just Kendall just don't want to be what he wants him to be, because I'm sure Logan still, even if he's not CEO, he wants things done his way. Just like
Mhm,
when he was being voted out, he wouldn't lead a meeting.
mhm.
I'm like, how are y'all allowing him to stay in there? This is stupid. And then he fired everybody. I'm like, this
Yeah.
has got to be some kind of ethics violation. It has to be. But I'm sure they can pay them
But
off.
I was about to say it doesn't matter when, you're at that level though. Like the rules
Yeah.
don't matter.
I'm sure he threw money at him to keep him from suing, because I mean, I'm sure they had a case with the what's the one what's the business place that you call if you have a problem with work? You know what
Oh,
I'm
that
talking about.
yeah, but that like I said, that definitely doesn't matter to them. They're just like SEC, FCC, three
Yeah,
letters.
whoever.
We don't whoever, we don't care. OSHA, we don't care. Like
Listen, Logan Roy told the Federal Bureau of Investigation to fuck off.
he
The
said maybe
FBI.
he said maybe they could come back tomorrow and we'll have something for him then. Like
But he tried to give the FBI a rain check.
Mhm.
Not today.
Oh,
Not
yeah,
today.
today's not a good
Mm-mm.
day. Sorry. Try back
It's not.
tomorrow.
Tomorrow might not be as good either, but not today though. I'm like, this is the FBI. Can't tell the FBI no, especially when you know why they're here. You know why they're here. You know. So I
Yeah.
don't know. How long do those things typically take? FBI investigations on this level. They take a long time.
Uh, I can't accurately say because I mean, once again, we've lived through what seemed to be one of the most ironclad FBI cases in history that took a
Mhm.
long time and nothing happened. So I can't tell you. I cannot tell you.
But that goes to show once again how the president is still the president.
Yeah.
And Logan's just acting like he's not that. And it's so weird. It's really odd to see.
Hmm.
You know. Anyway. Yeah. Um, I still want the words for Siobhan. That's what I'm gonna wrap it up with.
Yeah.
Um, because again, the best description I've seen of her is that she thinks she's smarter than she is because she does. And she thinks she can do more than she can. And when it comes down to it, Kendall is legit the most suitable for the job. He is. He's just a man
Yeah.
child and he's a bit
Yeah.
unstable. But truthfully, the kids as Voltron, or they got together like the Power Rangers, would be the best thing because all four of them have input that would help. All of them have skills, or at least three of them. Connor can
Yeah.
do whatever he wants
I
to
was about to say 3.25 maybe,
but they all have input that would be helpful to the company. So the kids and Jerry, they would be great.
but they
They'd
can't
be great,
stop
but they
screwing
can't
over each other.
because Siobhan she has to be CEO. She has to be. She won't settle for anything else under anybody else. I mean, she'll take whatever Logan gives her, but she won't take anything else from any other kids. She won't do it, which may be to her detriment. But we shall see. Her
Shall
her
see.
husband goes prison or not. We'll see.
Yeah. So I think that's it for this week. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching, as always. Um, Seems like we've been getting great responses from the Succession pod. So keep listening to that. Just let us know what you think. Also, make sure you stay away from the toilet wine, fermented ketchup, and make sure you stay away from the toilet wine.
Especially if you don't burp it.
Yeah, you got to burp it. But yeah. But yeah, that's all we have for this week. As always, thanks for listening. Until next time, peace.
Peace.